I listen to nothing but music from the 1940s. It's like more positive than ska music, which is why I would recommend it. If you're feeling low, throw on a 40s tune. You know, and every guy has that 40s voice. So like every song from the 40s is some guy who's like, drinking apple brandy with my best gal. The moon is out, the devil's not around. He's not? Oh, that's good. But I've always hated summer, ever since I was a little boy. And my birthday's in July. I should love summer, but I don't. My parents, they ruined summer for me, guys. They ruined it for me. I don't know if this was 80s parenting or whatever, or if any of your parents did this to you, but when I was a boy and it was super hot outside, high 90s, dog days of summer, my parents would look at my sisters and I and they would go, whew, it is hot today. This is child abuse weather. Summer sucks. I hate summer. No way. Now, to be clear, we were not abused, okay? But when it was hot out, the threat was there. You know, we'd be like, I don't know if we should ask Dad for that ride to the mall. His forehead's getting pretty sweaty. And I get it. They were joking. It was a joke, right? It's so hot out, you want to beat your kids. Hilarious. But when you're a kid, you don't know what jokes are yet. You're still doing knock-knock jokes. That one's a little fast for you. So then I just thought all grown-ups talked like that, you know? So I go to my buddy's place, you know, we're throwing a football around the backyard, you know, working up a nice sweat. I go inside for a cold glass of lemonade from his mom. I'm like, thank you, Mrs. Myers. Whew. It's like child abuse weather out there. You know what I'm saying? Put the phone down. What are you doing? I grew up in Buffalo, if you guys give a shit. Yeah. I went home recently. I hadn't seen the family in a while. It was good to see my folks. I got to see my dad in the most natural dad state there is, and that is just asleep on the couch. I love a dad asleep on the couch. It doesn't even have to be my dad. I just love it. I love the sight of it. It doesn't matter race, religion, age, does not matter. All dads, let's take that from the top. Some real Butterfingers in the crowd tonight. I'll tell you. But it's okay. Now, I love a sleeping dad. Because all dads, they sleep the same way, you know? Doesn't matter age, race, religion. All dads on the couch when they're asleep just look like a dead guy. No, because they all do that like Homer Simpson, like... And you just like, who poisoned Dad? No. Oh, he's alive. Let's throw some Skittles in his mouth. Choke him out. My dad is, he's a funny guy. He thinks, because I'm a comedian, he has to keep up and tell jokes. But this man does not have jokes, plural. This guy's got one joke. He's been telling it for 20 years. We don't want him to stop. We love this joke. We love it. Now, I'm about to tell you all my father's big joke. I'm about to change all of your lives. You'll be doing this forever, I promise, okay? My dad's big joke is he just likes to say .com after he farts. That's a home run. That's as good as comedy gets. He should have opened this show. And it's great, and I forget that he does it. You know, I as much as I love it, I always forget about this joke. I don't know what it means. It has no meaning. He decided one day, I hate the internet. He was sick of hearing about .coms at the end of commercials. But I always forget he does it. So when I got there, I'm in the kitchen. I'm talking to my mom. I don't even see him over here. He sneaks in. He's a good performer. Then he just appears like a vampire. Just, we start high-fiving. We can't get enough of it, you know. And if it's a serious fart, he'll say .org. I turned 42 over the summer. I turned 42. Yeah. Thanks, I guess. I'm wondering at what age I will be when I actually understand my family. I don't understand. Who are these people? Like, on that same trip, okay, the next morning, we're all still reeling from my father's fart performance. We're like, that was the best it's ever been. And I'm sitting at breakfast. It's me, my wife, my mom, and dad. And my dad goes, hey, I got something for you. It's in the other room. I've been holding on to it for you. That's exciting. You know, your dad's gonna go get you a present. You don't get that a lot at 42. So he leaves the room, he comes back, I'm like, what's it gonna be? And he comes back with like a mafia-sized envelope of pictures and just slams them in front of me. And I'm like, what is this, evidence? And he goes, no. That's every family photo you've ever been in. It's yours. So you're just done with memories? I mean, have you been to another house? Other people proudly display that they made a human being. You want to be done with the evidence. I felt like I was getting fired as a son. You're just like, we can't look at this shit anymore. You're through. I had to call my sisters. I was like, hey, did mom and dad give you back your file? But it was a good trip, man. I tried to see old friends. You know, when you're in town, they say seeing old friends is good for the soul. But I didn't see any old friends. Nobody would hang out with me. I would say I'm drinking at this bar. Nobody would come. I would say I have a show over here. Nobody would come. And that didn't really hurt me, them not coming, as much as I was upset by the fact that nobody just says no to stuff anymore. Like, I'm 42, I can sink my teeth into a no. Hit me with that no. If I'm like, hey, I got a big show on Saturday, you should come. No. I appreciate your candor. I like that. I know where I stand, you know? People are cowards. They don't want to say no. People say this. People say it all the time. Oh, I'm gonna try and make it. That's a load of shit. I don't like these try and make it people. What does that even mean? Either you're there or you're not there. You know, try and make it makes it sound like there's obstacles. What is standing in your way? I'm supposed to be like, where is this guy? I'm supposed to picture him on his couch like, I'm trying! Oh, dude, I tried so hard. Who's the Boss came on and I was toast. So I just ended up hanging out with my 16-year-old niece the whole time, and she's cool. She doesn't have a job, though, and I think that's weird. Like, I was 16, I had a job, you were all 16, you had jobs, right? Yeah. These kids don't want to work. They just want to vape and look at their posters. And think about death. Why? If you had a job, you wouldn't be thinking about death. You need a job at 16 to take out your aggression. I was a dishwasher. You just be like, I can't go to fucking Warped Tour. This is bullshit. And then you slam the dishes in there. Your manager's like, are you okay? I'm like, I can't go to Warped Tour, Rick. Get a job, lady. Get a job. I also told her, like, you got to get out there and fill out job applications. You got to learn how to lie about yourself. That's a good life skill. I mean, things are probably different now. When I was a boy, I'm going to keep saying when I was a boy. When I was a boy, filling out job applications at age 15 or 16, I always thought it was weird. Some of these job applications would ask you to write in what elementary school you went to. I always thought that was a waste of information. Like, nobody's gonna be blown away in the job interview Matthew. It says here you went to Willow Ridge. That's a tough school to get into. I'm not gonna... Between you and me, what was your secret? Oh, you lived in the area. You are a shoo-in. Yeah. It was a good trip, man, it was. But whenever I sleep in the bed I grew up in, I always have unsolved mysteries floating. Stuff from my past that I never, resolved. I'm like, oh, no. And this happened. We were in bed, my wife was snoring, just having a great time. This one unsolved mystery popped in my head from when I was 19. So when I was 19, I had just started drinking. I was straight edge in high school, thought that would be cool. I was wrong. Because it was really cool. But I was bad at drinking is the point. When you start drinking at 19, you're not good at it. I had friends that were better, they were more advanced. I could only drink Zima. And we knew this townie bar that we did karaoke every Tuesday, and they didn't card. So we go to this townie bar, we get to the parking lot. I would drink my 6-pack of Zima in about 20 minutes. I was in space, it was great. I went for something different. As they said. And also, I sang the same song every week. It didn't matter what week it was. It didn't matter what month it was. You were getting Monster Mash. Yeah. I see we got some mash heads in the crowd. Oh, yeah. And I got into it, too, man. I did the voice. And I was walking in the lab late one night. People were like, are you Bobby Pickett's son? Holy shit. So I had a Monster Mash Tuesday once where I really killed it, hit it out of the park with Monster Mash, signing titties out of the door. I mean, I got back to my parents' house. I don't want to brag, but I had a VCR in my bedroom. And I was like, I'm gonna watch some VCR pornography, some VHS pornography, as it were. Do you guys remember VHS porn? Those tapes were like 6 hours long. You can just throw that sucker in and just let it go, and then you chime in whenever you're ready. So I put in the tape, I take off all my clothes, I'm completely naked, and I get on top of the bed that's made. I'm like a sleazy mare waiting for a prostitute. Like, she'll be here any minute. No one's coming. It's just me. So, and then nothing happens. I don't even get to it because the Zima had gotten to me. And I just passed out, naked. So I wake up, it's 7 a.m., I'm confused, I'm groggy, I'm naked, I'm like, what's going on? So I look over, expecting to see the porno still going, and that's when I noticed that the television has been manually shut off. That's bad, that's bad. That's bad news. Oh no. Now I gotta make a list of suspects. Who did this to me? I'm like, 2 sisters, right away, not suspects. No way. You're not like walking by your little brother's room like, hey, are those porno sounds? Hey! That's good technique. Nice. So it had to be my mom or my dad. To this day, I don't know. That's the unsolved mystery. I don't know. What do you do in that situation? You got a couple options. As far as I saw it, I had 2 options. You go downstairs for the most awkward breakfast of your lives, just sipping coffee. What'd you guys get into last night? You see my dick? Tell me if you saw my horn. Did you see my horn? Check yes or no. Option 2 is you go out your bedroom window and you start a new life. That's what I chose. That's what I did. Bye-bye. And I just came right to New York. No, I just avoided them. I guess when this is out, maybe So tell me. Who did it? You know? But growing up in Buffalo was... We'll let the laugh end. That's good. I'm sorry to talk over the laughter. I'm just so jazzed. It's the only time I like jazz is when it's in me. But it was fun growing up in Buffalo, man. It's fun to grow up in a town full of drunks. It really is. And that's... I don't know if you know anything about Buffalo, but that's what it's like. You grow up there, you will get a DUI. That is just a crocodile done deal. Trying to get that going as a catchphrase. Crocodile done deal. That's just sitting there. That's branding. Later tonight, it's like, you want another drink? Oh, crocodile done deal. But it was fun growing up in Buffalo, man. It's just a town full of line cooks riding their bikes to work. You see them in their Crocs and their chef hat. So yeah, I moved here when I was 28, so 14 years ago, and I made it out with no DUIs. And I know that's not something you should like brag about. But in Buffalo, if you drink and you make it out of there, that's good. That's good. And there were some close calls. There were some close calls. I had a lot of close calls. The biggest one time my buddy calls me up. He goes, Matt, I got 4 tickets. Bills, Browns. What do you say? I said, I'm there. Crocodile done deal. Let's go. He goes, now wait a minute. Before you get too excited, no one has volunteered to be the designated driver. And I was like, I'm your man. As soon as I said that, I'm like, you're getting a DUI. No. So going there, I'm thinking, you know, how am I going to avoid this? And also, I don't know if you've ever seen an NFL game or a Buffalo Bills, what they do before the game. They're animals. They call themselves the Bills Mafia. They jump through tables on fire. They're waking up at 7 a.m. They're drinking Jack Daniels out of bowling balls. They're squirting ketchup up each other's asses. It looks fun. So I was like, how am I going to avoid getting a DUI? And I was like, here's what I'll do. I'll be a good boy. I'm going to cut myself off at halftime. Now, here's the thing about that. The stadium already does that. So that wasn't even your idea, you drunk piece of shit. But also, if you get cut off at halftime, it doesn't matter. You still stumble out of there, you're red, you're wet, you're confused. Did we win? Probably not. And then it's madness. When you're filing out of a football game and you have to drive, it's just, whew, okay. So we're walking, and there's just cops everywhere. There's just orange cones everywhere. I hate orange cones. Get them out of here. There's just cops. There's checkpoints. There's cops on horseback, which I don't like. Why do we have that? In Buffalo, come down to my level and talk to me. Every time I see a cop on a horse, I'm always afraid he's gonna tie me up like a little cow. Don't tie me up like a little cow. I don't want that. Even if it's for fun, I don't want it. So we're walking, we're trying to get back to the car, and like the lot's so far away, we're walking. We finally get back to the car. We shut the door. My friends are drunker than me. They're like, let's go. I'm like, I need a minute. And again, this is why I like growing up in a town full of drunks, because they look out for one another, okay? So there's an old man in the car next to mine, and he could see the panic attack forming on my face. He gave me the old-fashioned one of these, put the window down. That's nice. That's a nice motion. So I roll down my window. I'm like, what? What do you want? And this guy was great. He goes, hey, buddy. They can't get all of us. Oh. He's right. This man is my guardian angel. He gave me all the confidence I needed. I'm like, let's get a 12-pack for the ride home. I felt invincible. And I did. I made it. He didn't know. They didn't get all of us. It was good. It's good to get out of town, though, man. I don't know how you guys feel. I like New York. I've lived here a long time. I like going out to bars here. But one thing I don't like about the bars, especially in Brooklyn, too many dogs. Can we stop bringing dogs to bars? I'm not even anti-dog. I like dogs, but they don't want to be there. Have you ever seen a dog have a good time at a bar? Never. They always have their chin on the pavement. A dog at a bar just looks like a designated driver at 3 a.m. You're getting more? It's not a good deal for the dog, I'm telling you. Also, I don't understand the logic in bringing a dog. Hey, you've got really good hearing, come on. We're gonna go down to your favorite spot with all the loud music and emotional outbursts. And a bar is really just a room full of drunks who can't connect with other human beings. So then they see a dog, and they're like, oh, you're my new best friend, come here. And the dog has to just take it. He's just like, ah! Dog's thinking, this is bullshit. I should be at home playing poker with my buddies. It's a painting joke, come on. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. So I'm married, I hate families. Hate them. My mother-in-law, she's cool, man. We were in the mountains together recently, yeah. I mean, my wife was also there. I don't know why I said it like that. Oh, yeah. I was up in the mountains with my mother-in-law, my wife, my mother-in-law's boyfriend, Slobby Robbie. He doesn't know we call him Slobby Robbie. He will now. Watching this, what the hell? I'll get a haircut, I'm sorry. Don't feel bad for Slobby Robbie. He's asleep. My mother-in-law's boyfriend is just sleeping guy. You're like, well, okay, you're asleep. He's the best. He shows up with a bong and a pillow. Good for him. Point is, we were in the mountains, folks. We love the mountains, okay? I should also tell you, my mother-in-law, she has a heightened sense of danger. You know, like if she was in here right now, she'd think this was a fire hazard. So she's always pointing out where people are gonna get hurt. You know, we go by people playing on a playground, like someone's gonna slip and hit their head. It's a bummer. So when we got there, my wife and I, we just wanted to get alone. We're like, we're gonna go for a hike. And she was like, oh, hiking? You can't go for a hike. And we were like, what is it, bears? She goes, it's high tick season. I was like, that's fine. I'll just get some heavy-duty tubes, socks, just pull those up. I brought my heavy-duty tubes, lady. Don't worry about it. But she goes, listen, if you're gonna go on a hike, you've gotta promise me that when you come back, you both will strip naked and check each other for ticks. I said, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, she's gonna be so naked. Hell yeah, let's all get naked and look for bugs. So we went on our hike, we came back, we stripped naked, checked it all out, no ticks, we're good. Now we all went out to dinner, and we're at one of these restaurants where the waiter has like the board and all the specials, and he's doing his whole spiel. He's doing great. You know, I used to be in the biz, I know. He's like, soup and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, any questions? And my mother-in-law goes, I got a question. Did you guys check for ticks? I said, of course, we told you that. We checked for ticks. And then in front of everybody in the restaurant, she goes, yeah, but did you... Wow. Didn't see that coming. She wants to know if I spread her daughter's butt cheeks to look for bugs. I looked my mother-in-law right in the eye and said, Lady, she won't let me in there. Are you kidding me? A tick is gonna get in there before I will. And he'll be mocking me too. He'll be like, ah, ha, ha, ha. I love this anus. They do. Ticks love the anus. I love the mountains. I don't love the mountain people. No. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I thought mountain people were like laid back, kind of fun people, you know, because they're just up there. I thought it'd be like a McConaughey, just kind of like, all right, we're in the mountains. No, it's not what they're like. Mountain people are loud, opinionated. They got a lot of signs on their lawn, let's just say that. But they can be very entertaining. They are entertaining to watch from afar. Like, we went to the grocery store, we pick out our items, and there's only one line. We get in line. Now, the lady in front of us, she's got a Don't Tread on Me hat. She's got a Blue Lives Matter sweatshirt. Yeah, she was a real bag of snakes. A real flat soda. A real hornet in the car. You know what I'm talking about? And man, she was on one. She's buying 150 pounds of hamburger meat and some Coke Zero. She's just lobbing it up there, just so happy. Just screaming about coupons and how Coke Zero's the best or whatever. And it was entertaining because there was an older guy who cashed out right before her, and he was still kind of hanging around. And he had on a hat that said VFW, Veteran of Foreign Wars. So she thought, based on their outfits, that they could be buddies. So she stops her operation here. She just starts locking in on this guy. And she's like, sir, yes, you right there. I love your hat. Thank you so much for standing for the flag and not kneeling for it. And the old guy just goes, what did I do? What? I gotta tell you, man, I've never been more comforted by a stranger's dementia. I was like, lady, that might not even be his hat. He might have just found that on the way here. Good Lord. So they can be fun, the mountain people. This is going well. So yeah, I've been married for 8 years. It's meaningless. Not the marriage, but 8 years. Come on. I tell my wife every morning, I go, this is meaningless. In 2 years, we'll do something. Nah, my wife's cool. She's here. I only have one problem with my wife, and it's not even anything she did. It's not her problem. I started the problem. My problem with my wife is that we are a babe couple. Yeah. Calling each other babe. I hate it. And I don't even know how I got here. I avoided it my whole relationship career. I had a clean stat sheet. Never said babe. I just avoided it. But it doesn't matter how long you put it off. One day you'll just be standing in a Target. You lose sight of her. Hey, babe? Where'd you go, babe? Other women are turning around. I'm like, no, you, babe. I got one babe. I'm in a babe prison. Which sounds hot, but it's not. I get sick of babe. I really do. I get sick of it. I gotta change it up sometimes. You know, catch myself saying babe. I like to bring in new terms, you know? Like, I like to call my wife Toots. Toots is fun. Women hate it. I don't know why. Try Toots. If you're out there and you're sick of saying babe, try Toots. However, you gotta know how to say it. You gotta say it. You gotta talk like an old-timey gangster. Hey, how you doing, Toots? Hey, Toots, you making some coffee? I love some Toots. You smack her on the ass. We're married. There's no HR. It's cool. Toots is fun. Yeah, you can't use your regular voice when saying. You can't just walk into the kitchen. Hello, Toots. That's disgusting. Get a lawyer. You're getting divorced. No, Toots is fun to say. It's quick. It's snappy. It's really hard to text. Toots? Are we saying toots? How are we spelling toots? I'm out here doing field research. Nobody knows. And you can't Google it because you don't know how to spell it. You will just type, how do you spell toots? I put toots. One time I was coming home late from a show. I text my wife, be home soon, toots. And I spelled it Tuhtz, which I thought was pretty good. She texts back, is this Yiddish? My parents have been married for 50 years. 50. That's a big one, yeah. Now, I don't know about your folks, but I've noticed the longer my parents stay married, the less like a married couple they act. They act like roommates, basically. So much so that they sleep in separate bedrooms. Does anyone have folks that sleep in separate bedrooms? Just me, okay. Basically what happened was my father worked 2 jobs his whole life. And when he was finally able to retire, my mother was still working, okay? So she was like, no. You snore way too loud. I got to get a good night's sleep. The kids are gone. Pick a room and get out of here. Now, you think that would, like, bruise my dad's ego, getting thrown out of the old bedroom? He was, like, psyched about it. He was like, all right, I'll get my own room. Yeah! He's, like, putting up Yankees posters and shit. He's got a lava lamp in there. Every time I visit, he's got a backwards hat and a Nerf. He's like, what's up? I think my favorite thing about being married is if it goes well, and this is especially a New York thing, if it goes well, you're guaranteed to never have a roommate again. Which, that's huge, right? I mean, we've all had bad roommates, you know? The guy I lived with, before I moved with my wife, this guy was a horrible roommate. I hated this guy for hundreds of reasons. I'm gonna give you the top 2. Top 2 reasons I hated Randy Garlic. Top 2 reasons I hated Randy Garlic. Number 1, this guy used the microwave way too much. I hate microwaves. Despise microwaves, thank you. They're dirty, they're noisy. Also, come on, you just hit some buttons and some shit gets that hot? What's really going on in there? I don't trust it one bit. But this guy, he used the microwave every morning. Not just on work days, 7 days a week. My bedroom next to the kitchen. He's out there 6 a.m. and they're noisy. Door opens, shaka. Door closes, chgoom. And he's like, playing Mozart on that thing. Then there'd be some other mornings. Door opens, shaka. Door closes, shaka. And he goes, dude. I'm like, didn't you do this yesterday? You're trying a new button cadence? Come on. Finally, after 4 years, I had had enough, okay? I just ran out one day. I was like, what the fuck are you microwaving every day? He's like, then I saw what he was microwaving. It was just a cup of water. Oh, Randy. We have a tea kettle. Enjoy your laser beam water. You shouldn't be drinking laser beams at 6 a.m. Second reason I hated Randy Garlic. He was a man. That's not why I hated him. He was a man. A man? A man? Sorry, I'm getting a little walking on you. He was a man. He was a man. I lived with him for 4 years. Not once in those 4 years did I smell his shit. How can I trust this guy? I mean, really, if you live with a man, at one point, they're gonna take a shit so wild, someone's gonna have to open some windows and do this with the door, you start laughing. That's how you get to know people. And he took that away from me. I never understood it, too, because he'd be in there for like 15 minutes, and I would just be waiting outside the door. I think that's where things went south for me and Randy. Because I don't know what he's doing in there for 15 minutes, but he comes out, I'm just like, Randy, what are you not eating? You're staying in tonight, mister. I'm making dinner, okay? We're having espresso and burritos. We're watching all 3 hours of Barry Lyndon. No one's going anywhere till I hear that ass. I gotta hear that ass. I mean, not a fart, nothing. Because as a pot smoker, I'm starting to put together conspiracies in my head. I'm in my room, I'm like, Randy Garlic is an alien. He stole a body, he doesn't have to crap. He's using the microwave to talk to his mothership. It all made sense. We wish Randy the best. So when you're married and you hate families, people don't care that you hate families. They want to know, where are the babies? Have some children. Get out there and have some kids. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. We have 3 cats. Yes, yes. Let me hear the cat love. Love. Yes. Who's got cats? Sorry, I'm not supposed to do crowd work, but for this, we'll make an exception. How many you got?
1.
Oh, thank you. Did you rescue it?
Yeah.
Of course you did, because no one's ever paid for a cat. That's an awesome deal we have with the universe. You have to buy like an iguana, a weasel, a goldfish. Cats are on the house. And rescue's a loose term. Someone just texts you and goes, hey, I found this piece of shit in a trash can. And you go, yeah, I'll take that piece of shit. I got 2 pieces of shit at home just like it. So we got 3 cats. We love them. One of the cats we rescued, she's got feline HPV. Whoopsie daisy, yes. They can't all be winners. But I'm here to tell you, if you get a cat, you want it to have HPV. It's adorable on a cat. I love it. It's so cute, because it affects cats differently. It affects their respiratory. She can't breathe. No, it's adorable, trust me. Because she's walking around the apartment, she's like, it's so cute. Because I think she sounds like the keyboard from Ferris Bueller. We took her to the vet because we didn't know what it was at first. And we get there, doc, give us a happy ending, you know? And it was interesting. He didn't even have to like lift her up or examine her. She just walked by and went, and he goes, feline HPV? Which I think is funny that a medical professional for animals, like a vet, says feline HPV. Because the H in HPV, it stands for human. So now I feel like he's looking at me in an accusing way. I'm like, whoa, no. She was going out with a minor league hockey player when we found her. Those guys are filthy. So yeah, we're not doing it. We're not having any kids. I don't know, man. It's just tough. I just think I would be a bad dad. I cut corners. I have no patience. Look, if you've ever seen me try to connect to a Bluetooth speaker, you would say, don't have kids. Because you're going to throw that speaker at them. And where I live in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, and the people behind me are like the greatest parents I've ever seen. They set the bar so high, because once a month, it seems, without occasion, they will just get their kids a bouncy house. That's amazing. I never got a bouncy house. And here's the best part. They put it on concrete, so there's accidents. It's great. I'll just get high by the back window and listen to the laughter and the screams. But then it got me thinking, I'm like, bouncy house, that's such a high bar for me to even reach. Like, let's just say I did have a daughter. It's her 5th birthday party. She comes up to me, she goes, Daddy, I want a bouncy house. I'd be like, bouncy house, huh? I got something for you, sweetie. Come out to the courtyard. Check it out, it's a giant inflatable rat from the union protest. Give that thing a smooch, huh? Check out those nipples, pretty realistic, I think. I am fascinated, though. I'm fascinated by people having kids, what they do with them, you know? I think it's so weird that people have kids, newborn babies, and then immediately put them in films and television, you know? And it's like, that's the biggest decision of your life. You read all the books, you know? Your wife carried it around for 9 months, or someone did. You made a room a certain color, you had that party, and then just like fresh out of the oven, you're like, give this to John Krasinski. He needs it more than I do. Give this to Laura Linney. The lady that looks like a cashew. She's a cashew. You seen Ozark? Angry cashew. Hand your baby to the cashew. No, it fascinates me. It really does. Because I wanted to learn everything there was to know about it. I was like, you just can't show up with a baby. There are rules, okay? If you want a newborn baby to be in a television show or a film, any kind of production, that baby, it has to be at least 15 days old. That still seems soon, doesn't it? Then I thought about it, like, how did you get to 15 days? Kind of makes sense if you think about it. You ever see a 14-day-old baby? They don't have it. No sparkle whatsoever. You meet a 14-day-old baby who's like, I want to be in the pictures. You say, get some sleep. We'll use you tomorrow. All my friends with kids, man, they all want to get you to do it. They're like smokers, like have a smoke, you know? They want to bring you into their misery. And they all say the same thing. They all have the same pitch. They go, you gotta have a kid. It'll give you joy. It'll give you fulfillment. It'll give you a purpose. And I thought about that. I don't need that shit. You can find joy, fulfillment, and purpose with stuff laying around the house. You don't have to make a human being, you know? Like the other day, I was walking around my apartment. I was just in a bad mood. I was pretty depressed. And I did something that was so simple that just changed everything, just changed my whole day, just made me smile and even skip a little. You know what I did? Anybody can do this. All I did, I threw away a sponge. Oh. That is living. Now, you seem like nice people. But I'm telling you right now, all your sponges smell. Get that rat dick sponge out of here. There's nothing better on planet Earth than a fresh, out-of-the-package, unused sponge. Unsullied, pristine and green. You put it in the palm of your hand, it gets that first hit of hot water, it expands in your hand, it's alive, you're alive, or not. Oh, man. I don't think I'm gonna make it in comedy. I had a lot riding on that sponge bit. Not gonna lie. And everyone tells you the same thing. If you want to make it in showbiz, they say you gotta be at the right place at the right time. It's all about timing. Now, I don't know about any of you, but I have never in my life been in the right place at the right time. And here we are. This might be the only night. And it's followed me my whole life. Like in 7th grade, I was a paper boy. Was anyone here ever a paper boy, paper girl? Yeah. Okay, young people are like, what's a paper? What's a boy? What's a girl? I feel ya. It's tough. But I was a paper boy in 7th grade. Also, concept of paper boy, paper girl, something that would never fly today, right? Just every day, we're gonna send an army of 13-year-olds out by themselves, just with nothing but a weighted down bag, Don't worry, the pedophiles are not going to bother you. They know you're working. So I'm on my route one day, and Buffalo's a slippery town. I saw this old lady beef it on an ice patch. It was awesome. It was like Home Alone, dude. She did a real Harry and Marv. Just, woo! She went up, groceries went up. But I wanted to be a good boy. This was my moment. So I ran over, I was like, ma'am, are you okay? She's like, I fell. I'm like, I know. It was awesome. But I wanted to be a good boy. So like I said, I rang some doorbells, got an ambulance. They got her out of there. She was fine. But now the very paper I was delivering, the Buffalo News, they caught wind of this, wrote up a little puff piece. I don't mind. I'll take the publicity. It just said, local paper boy shows awareness, saves old lady, big hero, whatever. I go to school the next day. I'm in 7th grade. I walk into homeroom. My homeroom teacher, she comes right up to me. I'm like, Jesus. I've never spoken to this woman in my life. She goes, Matthew, I've been waiting all morning for you. I read the article in the paper. I'm just blown away by your call to action. And you couldn't have known this yesterday, how personal this would be to me. But yesterday, you saved my mother. I know, small world, small town. But I sat there and I thought, homeroom, what a fucking waste. You don't even get a grade in homeroom. There's no Venmo, I'm gonna get nothing. I'm flunking math. Where does my math teacher's mother live? I'm gonna be in the bushes spraying down the driveway. Come in for the save. One way I get joy, fulfillment, and purpose also is I will just get high, and that's it. No, I like to get high, and I like to learn everything there is to know about one subject. You can do that now. There's a lot of information out there. I'll just give my wife $5. I go, beat it, toots. I gotta learn. That's all I have left. So I sent her on her way the other day. I wanted to know everything there was to know about juicy fruit gum. Big juicy fruit guy looking for a sponsor. So I set in and I went down a real juicy fruit hole. I started on Wikipedia and I learned all about my personal hero, William Wrigley Jr., the man who started it all. Young William grew up in Philly, late 1800s, age 12, he runs away from home. Now back then when kids ran away from home, there was really nothing you could do. No one cared. They were like, what can you do? There's no Amber Alert, And on the Wikipedia page, it was like, young William ran off with his last nickel. So maybe they knew about the nickel. I don't know. Like, he's got the nickel. He'll stretch it. Back then, a nickel went a long way, So he goes to New York. He's a homeless paper boy. He gets tired of that. The ball's on this kid. He goes down to the docks, okay? He just shows up on, like, a commercial ship. He goes, hey, I'm William Wrigley Jr. I need a job. I'll work in the kitchen. I'll do whatever it takes. Captain to his crew was like, hey, do we need a boy? And they were like, we'd love a boy. So they brought the boy. Then they're out in the Atlantic Ocean one day. This is all true. Young William's in the kitchen. He's chopping potatoes. And he's like, this is bullshit. I hate this. So he jumps off the boat, swims to shore. It's crazy. Makes it all the way, hoofs it all the way back to Philly. His family, they're not even like, oh my God, William. They're like, go to school right now. So William goes to school. He gets expelled on his first day back for throwing a pie at the front door. That's why I love young William Wrigley Jr. He's a rascal. He's throwing pies. His dad didn't know what to do with him. He's like, you're throwing pies, you're running away, you're getting expelled. I don't know what to do with you. So he goes, you know what? You're going to work for me now. No more school. He puts him on the road. He becomes the #1 salesman in the Wrigley Company. He invents Juicy Fruit. He sticks it in as a free treat with the soap that he's selling. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. He owns the Chicago Cubs. All I'm saying is let your kids play outside, you know? They might have a baseball team someday. So I was continuing down my Juicy Fruit hole. Yeah. It's okay. So I left Wikipedia. Now I go to YouTube. And I start watching all these old Juicy Fruit ads. And man, they're awesome. 1987 was the peak year for Juicy Fruit ads. Great song, which I'll sing for you in a sec. But there's one in particular I love. There's just people skiing, and they're getting ready to ski. They're sniffing the gum. They're on cocaine. 100p, 100%. Crocodile done deal. These people are on cocaine. No one's ever been that psyched for gum. They're like, yeah, give that to me. Ah. They're like feeding it to each other like dogs. They're doing that commercial bendy thing, you know? So the song comes on. The song is so catchy, but lyrically, the wheels come off immediately. So picture a bunch of cokeheads skiing, you know. And then the song comes on, and it's so catchy. It goes, get your skis shined up, grab a stick of Juicy Fruit. The taste is gonna move ya. Take a sniff, pull it out. What? Take a sniff, pull it out? You couldn't even sing that at work. You know, it's very catchy. You know, you could be at the vending machine, take a sniff, pull it out. Brenda, what's up? Next thing you know, you're in HR, you know. And it gets stuck in my head all the time, man. I can't help it. I'm always walking around going, take a sniff, pull it out. Once in a while, there'll be someone who knows the next line. And they'll sing it back. The taste is gonna hit you when it pops it in your mouth. I'm like, it gets worse. But we live in New York. It's good. You can live in New York, you can say anything, because there's a lot of street noise, a lot of people. So if you say, take a sniff, pull it out, no one's gonna say anything. No one cares. It's when I'm in those mountains I gotta be careful, you know? I might be like, take a sniff, pull it out. I'm just gonna get a, what did I do? Hey, you guys have been so much fun. Thank you so much. This has been a dream.